As Klay Thompson walked off the court after falling to the Sacramento Kings in the play-in game last season, he paused a moment, taking it all in, knowing that this could very well be his last time in a Warriors uniform. It was the 2019 NBA Finals. The Toronto Raptors had a chance to close out the Warriors in 6 games on the Warriors' home court. Klay Thompson was already up to 30 points before this happened.
Thompson running the floor, and a foul. And Thompson grabs his left knee, now writhing in pain.
Klay had to be helped off the court, and you can just see in Steph's reaction, frustrated that this happened to Klay, and also knowing that the Warriors' chances for the titles were likely slipping away, given how severe Klay's injury looked. The Warriors were already dealing with an injured KD, and when he tried to come back, we all know how that went.
Ibaka trying to stay with Durant, knocks it away, and Durant's limping. Durant goes down holding his leg. Ibaka goes up and is fouled down the other end. And Durant grabbing that right leg.
Klay had suffered a torn ACL in his left knee, which sidelined him for all of the 2019 to 2020 NBA season. Klay rehabbed his way back and was gearing up for the next season, which was delayed to December 2020 due to the pandemic, but suffered another devastating injury.
What can you tell us, Woj?
Matt, worst possible news for the Warriors. Klay Thompson has suffered a full tear of his right Achilles. He will miss the entire season. He missed last season with an ACL tear in his left knee. This is his right Achilles, but he had the imaging today in Southern California. And Klay Thompson, now you're looking at a 8 to 10 month rehab.
It would be January 9th of 2022 before we saw Klay play in an NBA game again. And given that he hadn't seen NBA action in 2 years, had himself a great game, dropping 17 points in 20 minutes, and even had a poster dunk on 2 Cavs, snarling and all.
7-point game, Warriors with a lead. Thompson just the 2 points, nifty dribbling, exploding to the rim. Klay Thompson powers one down.
And it got even better for Klay that season, as the Warriors responded to all the doubters by winning their 4th title in the Steph, Klay, Draymond era. And while Klay did average 17 points that series, he needed 17 attempts to get those points, and didn't look like the Klay that we were used to, with some saying that he just needed more time to get back into form. But when the new season rolled around, Klay struggled mightily, and it was evident that Klay wasn't himself, who didn't have the same quickness or lateral movement, and wasn't the same two-way player he was before, which after 2 catastrophic injuries was not surprising in the least. This was understandably difficult for Klay to accept. I mean, the guy was one of the best two-way players before the injuries, and a multiple-time all-star and champion, and wanting to play the way you've always have, with your body not responding, had got to be frustrating.
There was a time when Klay Thompson was the best two-way guard in the NBA, and he's not the same guy.
It hurts when, someone like Charles Barkley with the platform he has says you're not the same player prior to the injuries you have. It's like, no duh, man. Consecutive years, tore my ACL and my Achilles in consecutive years. Give me some freaking time to get that back. And just, who goes through something like that and comes back? I don't know. It just hurt my heart hearing that.
Now, Klay did start to rebound a bit as the 2022-2023 season went on, but reportedly became miserable the very next season, who felt disrespected by the franchise that he helped win 4 titles for in contract negotiations, and didn't feel as valued in the same way that Steph Curry was and Draymond were, who got the big contract that Klay was looking for that same season, and at one point during that year, even came off the bench for the first time since his rookie season. Which brings us back to this moment, which was indeed his final game in a Warriors uniform. Klay would be taking his talents to the Mavericks after 11 seasons with Golden State, with his return to the base slated for November 12th, which many may have circled on the calendar, including Draymond Green.
When you play the Mavs, how are you guarding Klay?
I'm running through his chest.
Yes, you are. And are you gonna trash talk him or?
Of course, he is. It's my brother, but he not with us.
Like Kobe Powell moment situation.
He not with us. He with the ops.
And what a game it was. Easily the best of the young season so far. It started with a touching video tribute for Klay.
Let's salute Captain Klay!
But when the ball tipped, it was all business. Off rip, Steph Curry curls off a Trayce Jackson-Davis screen, hits a 3, and lets everyone know who he hit it on. And when Klay knocked down this tray to put the Mavs up 7, he celebrated by hitting the Steph shimmy.
So when he did the shimmy, you're waiting to check in, we're shaking your head. What were you thinking when you saw him pull that off?
He knows better than that.
Congrats.
But later on in the game, and especially down the stretch, Steph and the Warriors went to this play over and over again to spoil Klay's return. In the third quarter, Andrew Wiggins sets a screen for Steph, with the Warriors trying to get Luka in on the action. After setting the screen, Wiggins dives to the basket and Derek Lively reacts by playing contained defense for just a bit, while Trayce Jackson-Davis sets another screen for Steph, and because Lively momentarily tried to contain Wiggs' dive, he's too far back from Steph, resulting in an easy shot for the greatest shooter in the world. On the very next possession, Golden State run the same play. Wiggins sets the screen again and dives, but the difference is Lively doesn't help on the dive, but rather switches onto Steph as to prevent the triple that he got burned on the previous play. Trayce then dives to the basket, with Quentin Grimes rotating over to help, but Trayce has the size advantage and hits the bank for the bucket. Later in the fourth, the Warriors run this action again, with Draymond setting the first screen and diving this time, while Kevon Looney sets a second screen. Now Steph doesn't make it, but I guess the Warriors like the play because the Warriors run it again involving Luka again. Wiggins sets the screen, with Draymond setting the second, and Daniel Gafford is late to Steph.
To make it a one-point game.
With about 2 minutes to go, you won't believe it, but the Warriors run it again. Why fix it if it ain't broke, right? Draymond sets the second screen while Lively shows, trying to prevent the triple. But this time, Steph chooses to reject the screen and gets the floater. And on the back-breaking 3, you can see Draymond calling out the play, dive, and roll. So you already know what they're about to do. Wiggs sets the screen, with Draymond setting the second, and now Steph's got the mismatch on Lively. And it ends in Steph letting everyone know what time it was.
Switch to Lively. 3, Curry. Oh!
Now, you can tell how much that shot meant to Steph. Just look at how hyped he is, and apparently says, "You better stay here. You better stay here." Next possession, Quentin Grimes hits a huge step back 3 to bring the Mavs within 1, but they have to foul on the other end and sent the worst possible shooter they could have in Steph Curry, who knocks down both free throws. And with about 11 seconds left, the Mavs had a chance to tie.
Doncic, Wiggins on him. Doncic pulls up 3, no! Rebound Martin. Golden State won it with an outstanding.
Hell of a game, but Steph Curry spoils his Splash Brothers return to the Bay. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check out these videos as well. See you guys in the next one.